Yo, his performance last night was so cringy. I was like, that's what you get. God don't like ugly. You shouldn't have never left that girl the way you did. Anywho, hi, you guys. Happy Sunday. It's me, Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 9, Episode 16, aka Reunion Part Trey. Finally, Love and Marriage Huntsville is off for like 3 months, and then it'll be right back on again. But whatever. Let's get into part 3 of this reunion because it was really good. I gotta admit, it was really good, and I got a lot of things to say. So we pick up where we left off last week with Carlos asking Martell, did he and Trisha ever sleep with each other? And he was like, yeah, we slept with each other. And then he was like, nah, I'm just playing, with his little peanut head self. And Ken, of course, goes on to say how he did not like that and that it wasn't funny, and it insinuates that something did happen between them, because that's what the general public will then go and believe, that he's not playing and that he's telling the truth. And then Carlos proceeds to go on to the next question, but Mel interrupts and was like, you ain't got nothing to say to him? And Carlos was like, what, excuse me? And she was talking to Martell. She was like, you ain't got nothing to say to him. You ain't got nothing to say to that man right there, because you argue with all the females. I mean, I'm just asking because he had a lot of bass in that voice, and you ain't say nothing. Nothing. It was a lot of, I don't like that right there, and you was quiet on the set. And everybody get to laughing or whatever, and Martell looking like it ain't funny. It ain't even that funny. You know what I'm saying? But I did love that Melody took out the time to be petty and to check him on that, because he didn't have anything to say. He kept it cute and on mute in that cadet inspired tuxedo that he had on. So Carlos then says to Trisha, Martell, you said that Trisha wasn't hot enough for you to sleep with when you first met her. And he was like, trying to avoid the question, but it's like, you said it, so stand on what you said. And Ken was like, I know that's a lie. And I'm like, Ken, simmer down. Simmer down, sir. Please simmer down. You know what I'm saying? Because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. If he didn't think that she was attractive, she wasn't attractive. Sometimes when the camera hits her in a certain way, or the light hits her in a certain way, if her hair is done right, if her makeup isn't too dark, she's attractive. And then other times, it's giving Shea Coulee. It's giving Bob the drag queen. You know what I'm saying? So you just can't sit up there and say that, he just found her attractive off rip because you did. So then Mel brings up what Chris said about how this whole situation was brought to light when he was at the gym and was on the phone with Martell, and he was asking, is there any cute women up there? And he mentioned Trisha, and then he went on social media and found her quick in a hurry. So basically, Mel brought that up to show that you must have thought she was attractive enough. You reached out to her like you was on it, like on it. And so, before, though, Chris could answer the question, Martell was like, ignore that. And Nell said to Chris, don't ignore tell the truth, okay? And so Chris did tell the truth. And Carlos asked Martell, did he invite her to his house? And he pauses, because remember, he and Melody were still married. She'd left their marital home, but they were still married. The divorce was not finalized whatsoever, right? And so he pauses because he knows if he says yes, that incriminates him and makes him look 10 times worse, that you would bring another woman into y'all home. Whether or not she's there, it's still y'all home. And like, how dare you do such a thing? You know what I'm saying? And y'all were still technically married. So it was like if in some people's eyes you were committing adultery again, So he's pausing, and Trisha goes on to say that she thought when he invited her over to work out that he was inviting her to the clubhouse in their subdivision because she's trained other people at, the little clubhouses or whatever. And Carlos was like, so you admit you went inside a married man's home? And here go Ken. He wasn't married though, was he? And I'm like, Ken, my love, snap into a Slim Jim, sir. Wake up. Do you need a Snickers? Like, keep on track, sir. Yes, they were still married. What about that don't you understand? You so got it locked in your head that this was before me, to make it better for yourself that you just ignoring everything. Like, sir, good Googa Mooga. So Carlos was like, did you know he was married to Melody? And she says, I didn't know any knowledge of their marriage until he told me at the house. And Carlos was like, so you never watched the show? And she was like, no, I hadn't. And everybody on stage gave one of these. Like, I don't believe her at all. Now, I know she had a lot going on with her parents passing away and her sister and all of that stuff. But no way you hadn't heard about the show or you didn't know what was going on with their relationship. You knew that man was married. Like, let's not do that. You knew. And so Carlos says, do you trust Trisha? And Ken says, I 100% trust her. And Melody said, like, bitch, is you okay? Is you woke ho? Like, what is going on with you, Ken? Like, your suit ain't tight like Martell, so I can't give you no excuse for your stupidity. You know what I'm saying? So then Marquez joins the reunion, and he says that Ken and Trisha ostracize and exclude him from his children. And Carlos asks, when did he move out of the house? And he says he moved out October 2021. And this is where it gets confusing for me, and maybe somebody can explain it in the comment section, because he moved out October 2021. Ken and Trisha on the stage said that they had been together at that point for 3 years. They filmed the reunion in October 2024. I went back on Melody's page of when she first initially dropped her outfit, right? And that was in October 2024. So if he left in October 2021 and they've been together for 3 years, so that's, let's just say they got together at the end of 2021. That'll be 22, 23, 24. So they would have had to gotten together like a few days after he left the house. Or if they got together in 2022, then the time frame doesn't add up either. So I'm so confused on this relationship and when they got together and when they didn't. It's a lot of question marks still surrounding these folks. And if you were flirting with her back in 2017 on social media and all of this stuff, how am I to believe that you weren't dealing with her like as soon as dude left the house, or probably before then? Just to be honest with you, I don't think that they officially started messing with each other right after that man left. I think they had already started dealing with each other, but whatever. So Trisha says that Marquez has only seen the kids 3 times since Melody with mimosas. And if that is in fact true, then that is trifling. And I do believe her when she said that, because he didn't dispute it. And that is trifling, because 3 times is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Especially considering you're not that far away from them. You know what I'm saying? The distance ain't really that far, but whatever. So Marquez says to Ken, you the bonus guy. You need to be bonusing for her as a mother and stop playing like you're my kid's parent. And I agree to an extent, because I do feel like as her man and they're living in the same household, he should have a relationship with those children, right? A healthy relationship where they can, be comfortable with him and go to him, talk to him, have a good time with him. But at the same token, he still needs to respect the fact that they do have a father. You're not their father. You're they mama boyfriend. Y'all not even married. Y'all not even engaged. How are you going around calling yourself these kids daddy? And y'all only been together 3 years. It ain't like they little bitty kids. These big kids. So you came into their life when they were already of a particular age. So the fact that you even calling them your kids and you they daddy is low-key kind of weird to me, just to keep it a buck, and whether he's a bad dad, a good dad, he's still their father. He was with them for 17 years or however long he said that he was in the house. Has he fallen off? Yes. In the last 3 years or so, he has not been doing what he needs to do, and he does need to get it together, because there is no excuse for that type of behavior. And he's going to have to answer to that when it comes to his children. But he's still their father. He's still their dad. And I do think that Ken need to back off some, because what Marquez was trying to explain to him was, if you were their biological father and then some type of man came in and then start calling your kids my kids and all of this type of stuff, you're going to be looking like, excuse you? Let's not do that. So I get that. But then he goes on to say, I talk to my kids daily. And Kimmy says, it sounds like as long as you talk to them on the phone, then you're in their life. Do you pay for their dance? This, that, and the third. And I agree. You just can't be a telephone daddy. You can't. Being a father is more than that. And just because you were present for however many years doesn't still negate the fact that you're not doing what you need to do now. That's not an excuse. And you need to stop making excuses and get up off your butt and do what you need to do for those kids. Period. So, Ken says, we give you money. You borrow money from your son. Bro, you're a bum. And everybody's face was like, ooh, he called him a bum. And I low-key felt a little bad for Marquez. I really honestly did. Because, that was mean. It really was mean. That was mean. Ugh. Whether it's true or not, that's still that man's kids. And they're going to watch this and see you calling their daddy a bum. Ugh. It's just too much. It really honestly is. So, Carlos asks Trisha, are they divorced? And she says that the papers have been filed. Marquez says he ain't signed no papers or whatever. So they still married, child. Carlos then asks Marquez if he likes Melody, child, to get things back on track because it was getting heated. And he says that he has admiration for her. He wants to know the business side of her. And she was like, yeah, anytime we do talk, it's always about business. And she respects that. And then Ken jumps in and says that his affinity to Melody is pretty much the same thing as when Martell invited Trisha over. Basically saying, when Marquez was like, he would like to get with Melody, to talk about business, but he's really using that as a way to get next to her. But Marquez got his ass together real quick. He was like, she don't even want to marry you, bro. He was like, she really don't. And all Ken could say is, he couldn't say nothing. He was gooped and gagged at that moment, because I was like, yeah, he got you with that one. You should have just sat back in that green suit, leprechaun, and just shut your mouth, because, yeah, he got you there. You look stupid. So then Marquez decides to give Melody her flowers, and he literally took the flowers off the coffee table and tried to hand them to her, but said he'd get her his own that he paid for, and get down on one knee and tells her, all of these wonderful things about herself. And then they hug, and then he gives Martell, his respect. And I was like, what is going on? It made for great television. It was quite funny, to be honest with you. Because Marquez simply don't give a damn. He do not care. Him and them Winnie Harlow lips of his, honey, just be out to lunch, okay? So, then we get to the girls' trip of it all. And it's just the ladies on stage. And Carlos asks the girls how they felt about the trip, and Tisha and Kimmy basically were like, everything was good except for the rooms. Tisha feels like they should have gotten better rooms. And Kimmy feels disrespected about the room situation because she says there was a time where she filmed with Mel in her backyard for free because she had an idea for this TV show. So it was like a slap in the face to her. Now, here's my thing as far as Tisha saying she feels as though they should have gotten better rooms, I guess because they are OGs, they have seniority on the show. Now, y'all explain this to me or not. Did OWN pay for this trip, this cash trip, or did Melody pay for this cash trip because she thought that it would make good content? Okay. Regardless, though, of who paid for it, she was the host of said trip, right? So, you know how just like with the housewives, they get to, say who gonna be in what room, or make them decide or play a game and all of this type of stuff. The room that she gave them, it was big. But considering the fact that Tisha invited Destiny, I understood why Mel was trying to put them all in the same room, which then took down their cost of living while they were there, but you wanted to bring her. So this was the room y'all got. Now, when they said that they had an issue with the room, she offered them a different room, her room. They didn't take it. Don't complain about something, and then when somebody be like, okay, well, you can have my room, but then your pride is like, well, no, it's fine. I'm already in here now. Okay, thank you. I sure will. Let me know when I can bring my things in there. Like, come on, bro. Come on. And my thing is, next season, if they have another girls trip and somebody else is hosting it, do things differently. Give the good rooms to the OGs, and the newbies get the shitty rooms, however you want to break it down. But personally, I don't feel like she owed them two nothing because she don't even fool with y'all. And so my thing also is, y'all on a free trip that you ain't have to pay for. Why are we complaining? Why are we complaining about anything? Y'all getting free food, free flight, free stay for 4-5 days, and you complaining about a room that you got to sleep in for a few days. Like, y'all act like y'all ain't got bedrooms at home. Calm down, people. Calm down. It is never that deep. And then for Kimmy to say she felt disrespected about the room situation because she filmed with Melody in her backyard for free. Like, okay, you filmed for free because she had a dream that then became reality and made you famous and put money in your pocket, brand deals in your pocket. So the hell what that you filmed for free? So the hell what? And like, you act like she owe you something because you filmed in her backyard. That filming in her backyard for that sizzle reel landed you on this show that you've been on now for what, 7 seasons, 7 years? Like, Kimmy, please get somewhere and sit down. You make no sense, just like your outfit didn't make sense. You're all over the place. And I think you need to get it together and go take a nap. She really irks my soul now. I just, ugh. I got a question for y'all too. Who do y'all think is going to be the new queen bee of the show now that Melody is gone? Who do you think is going to step up into that position, Kimmy or Tisha? I can see Tisha going into the new season going for that spot, but Kimmy sneaking up behind her and taking it. And that causing tension between the two of them. Because they're going to duke it out for that number one spot on the show. But who do y'all see being the new queen bee? Let me know down below in the comment section. So then Carlos asks Nell, does she think that Mel's head has blown up since being on the show? And Nell says yes. And Melody was like, huh? Like how? She was like, there has been many conversations where Miss Nell has said, I don't understand why everybody don't understand his Mel shit. Mel the queen of this. Everybody just need to play their role. And Nell couldn't say nothing because Mel got her real good. Got her real good. Do I think that this show has gone to her head? I think it's gone to all of their heads to an extent. Like, be real. How could it not go to your head? You went from being a virtual unknown, regular person living your life to now your face is on billboards, you're on television, you know, your money has elevated. People know who you are when you walk down the street. That goes to your head to an extent. Like, everybody has suffered from that on this show. So, Nell then brings up the mentorship again. And Mel takes out the time to say, Miss Nell, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, and I want you to understand that, hear that, and feel that. I appreciate you, and I apologize again for what I said. Now, this is the second time she done apologized to that lady. And she accepted the apology, and hopefully they can now let it the fuck go. Okay? My God. Mel says that Destiny was being a stage 5 clinger on that girls trip. And Destiny says that basically the reason why that things didn't progress between them after the girls trip is because that was being said about her, that she was doing too much, pretty much. But like Mel says, we saw it on the camera. That's my seat. I'm sitting next to Mel. You know, I had already brought y'all that tea before this season even aired. I had already had a birdie tell me while they were on the trip that she was all up on the Mel, kissing Mel ass, trying to be Mel friend again. I exposed that before the season even aired. So yeah, you were. You want to be her friend real bad. That's why you were clamoring to sit next to her. That's why you did mouth the words, I'm sorry, and all of that, because you know you wrong. And once again, why are you trying to befriend somebody that was quote unquote grooming you so tough? And I heard about how she got on her little podcast and tried to backtrack and say that grooming wasn't the right word, that it should have been freaky. See, people like her deserve to get sued because you want to play with people and tarnish their name and their integrity for clout, for 5 seconds of fame, for a clap back and to hurt somebody. And you know you're lying. And then you want to backtrack on it? Nah, I would sue her until I couldn't sue her no more. Anything that she got of Madani's will be mine. Okay? Would be mine. Because you playing too much with people's life and their livelihood. You don't go around saying no shit like that about somebody. And Martell's so damn dumb that he just sitting there. I'm like, you big buffoon. She talking about you too. I would most definitely sue her. Most definitely. She deserves it. Okay. So then the special guest comes out, and of course it's Stormy. I liked her outfit. I liked her little green ensemble with the little rope braid going down. It was really cute. The waist was snatched. She explains that she left the show because she's been super busy since, the whole TikTok blow up. And she says that the negativity from certain fans of the show also caused her to leave. That certain fans really cracked me up because we all know she was talking about the millimeters. And we've been over this 70 million times. Like, Stormy wants to play the victim like she didn't participate and start all of this mess between her and Melody. Her and her mammy started all of this mess. And then when the millimeters and other people started calling her out, and there are the crazies that went too far, she could not handle it. But once again, don't start none, won't be none. I wish that she has nothing but the biggest success in life, that her business continues to flourish, her family continues to prosper and grow, and I wish her well on her journey. So then at the end, they do a segment where they remember Kiki, and I was like, they better had, because I was gonna have a whole problem with that if they did not. Okay, but they remember Kiki. And we see footage where Tisha put together this memorial service with the cast members. I think everybody was there except for Mel and Martell. It was a beautiful memorial. They did the little floaty things that you put in the water where you write a note to the loved one or whatever, which was really nice. Everybody on stage had a tear in their eye or were crying except for Marceau and Martell. But I think everybody else, and maybe even Chris, but everybody else was really emotional. Carlos asked Tisha what is her relationship like with the family, and she says that none of that matters. Her main concern is Kiki's children. She wants to continue to have the relationship with them that she's been had. We also learned that Stormy paid for the funeral, which I did not know. And she says that when she found out about, Kiki passing, that it was just on her heart to do that because she knew about the financial issues that Kiki was having. And I thought that was a beautiful thing, and God is going to bless her for doing that. That was extremely, extremely sweet of her to do. And Tisha even tells her that, that changed her whole perspective of Stormy. I didn't know what perspective she had on her before then, but it is what it is. I think that was, like I said, a beautiful, beautiful gesture that she did. And it was beautiful. It really honestly was. There's really nothing else that I can say about that. Tisha then reminds the cast that tomorrow isn't promised, so don't leave things bad with someone. Like, she says that this has taught her the biggest lesson ever to, mend things with people. Don't leave things on a bad note. And that's something that everybody should take away and carry that with them on a daily. For my last words for Kiki, you all know I did interview her last year, and I had it was such a pleasure for me to speak to her. We learned so many things about her doing my 2-part interview. She was well spoken. She was funny. I found her to be truthful, very open. She had a beautiful smile. And I just enjoyed my conversation with her. And it's something that I always remember. And it was very sad when I found out she passed away. And I hate that her story ended the way that it did, but I think that the good thing that came out of it is that she raised awareness for addiction for a lot of people. And even though there were certain members of the cast that didn't believe that she was sober still, she prevailed and proved them wrong, even on her deathbed. I feel as though it would have been right if Marceau would have apologized at the reunion for accusing her of the things that he did, because they weren't true, because he was one of the main people saying that she might have still been using and he didn't know, and all of these things. They really treated her horribly. They really honestly did. And that does go back to what Tisha said, is that you shouldn't leave things on a bad note with people, because you just never know. But I pray that she is in a peaceful and better place. I pray for her family and her kids, and that their healing process is a easy one, as easy as it can be. And the void of losing their mother will always be there, but I hope that they know that her spirit is with them, and that she is watching over them, and she is their angels. And I just pray for peace and a clear mind, a clear path, discernment, and that they know that they're loved, and that they are supported moving forward, and that they just are surrounded by a positive village of family and friends. And that includes her husband as well. Overall, I'm going to give this season of Love and Marriage Huntsville, overall, I'm going to give it a minus. Even though we complain about the show, they continue to pump out good content that keeps us glued to the television. This upcoming season is going to be a make or break to see how the show will fare without Melody, because she was such a central focus of the show. So it's going to be very interesting to see who rises to the occasion and who falls by the wayside, meeting new cast members and all of that. So, yeah, I know that DC is supposed to be up next, so I'm looking forward to that. But until then, you guys, I will see you when Love and Marriage returns, whichever franchise is up next. Y'all let me know down below in the comment section what y'all thought of Reunion Part 3. Let's talk about it. Please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so you know when my videos drop. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.